Have you ever noticed that the more deeply you think, the more alone you feel? That the sharper your understanding becomes, the fewer people actually want to listen? It's not your imagination. History shows us that society has always been uneasy around those who see reality too clearly. From Socrates to Galileo, from Tesla to countless nameless thinkers, the world has often mocked, silenced, or ignored its most insightful minds. Not because they were wrong, but because they saw what others preferred to avoid. One of the most brutally honest philosophers, Arthur Schopenhauer, once said that high intelligence is more curse than blessing, not because knowledge itself is bad, but because the clearer you see, the harder it becomes to belong. Why does the world pull away from those who think differently? The answer lies deep within human psychology. When you stand next to someone stronger, you might admire their power. When you meet someone richer, you may envy them, but you don't feel attacked. But when you encounter someone with superior insight, something shifts. Psychologists call it the mirror effect. A deep thinker doesn't just share ideas, and they become a mirror, reflecting back the limitations of others. And most people don't forgive that easily. Even without speaking, a deep thinker's presence can expose the gaps in someone else's understanding. And that's uncomfortable. Physical strength, material success, they're external. You can admire them without feeling that your identity is under attack. But intelligence? That lives at the core of who we are. We define ourselves by our beliefs, our knowledge, our sense of truth. So when someone's perspective dismantles the foundation of what we believe, it feels personal. It feels threatening. And this isn't arrogance from the deep thinker. It's an involuntary reaction from those around them. Modern neuroscience backs this up. When people feel intellectually outmatched, their amygdala, the brain's threat detector, lights up. It reacts the same way it would to a predator. Why? Because for most of human history, acceptance by the group was survival. Being cast out meant danger. A deep thinker, without meaning to, disrupts the tribe's harmony. They challenge norms, ideas, and unwritten rules. And in the ancient wiring of the human brain, challenge equals threat. Interestingly, research from Stanford University found that deep thinkers are often well received in one-on-one conversations, but the moment they speak in a group, resistance spikes. In groups, social status becomes the battlefield. If someone feels outshined, they instinctively defend their position, sometimes by dismissing or excluding the thinker. This explains why so many intellectuals thrive in private discussions, but feel alienated in larger crowds. 3 major biases explain why society often rejects deep thinking. Dunning-Kruger effect. Those who know little often believe they know much, leading them to dismiss deeper insights. Status quo bias. People prefer familiar comfort over complex truths, even if the truth would benefit them. Backfire effect. When beliefs are challenged, people often double down instead of reconsidering. These biases make truth a slow traveler in the human mind. In today's digital world, algorithms reward simplicity over depth. Catchy slogans, emotional outrage, and surface-level entertainment go viral. Nuance? It's too slow, too demanding. The result? Deep ideas are drowned out by shallow noise. The world favors comfort over challenge, and that leaves little room for thinkers who want to push boundaries. If you think this is new, it's not. Socrates was executed for corrupting the youth, in reality for teaching them to think. Galileo was imprisoned for proving the earth moves around the sun. Tesla envisioned free energy for all, and was left to die in poverty because his vision threatened powerful interests. Alan Turing helped end World War II, but was destroyed by the very society he saved. In every case, the pattern is the same. The world rejects those who arrive too early with the truth, only to celebrate them decades or centuries later. Schopenhauer argued that the smarter you are, the harder it is to connect. Why? Because most social interaction is built on small talk, polite dishonesty, and shared illusions. Deep thinkers see through it all and find it difficult to play along. They crave depth over decoration, truth over comfort. But society runs on comfort, so the more you understand, the lonelier it gets. Does that mean deep thinkers are doomed to isolation? Not necessarily. Choose your audience wisely. Not everyone is ready for your deepest thoughts. Save them for those who value them. Build your circle. Find like-minded people in books, communities, or quiet corners of the world. Learn the art of translation. Great minds like Einstein knew how to make complexity sound simple. Play the long game. The world may not be ready now, but time has a way of catching up. Remember, talent hits a target no one else can hit, but genius hits a target no one else can see. Society may fear those who think too deeply, but it is those very thinkers who push humanity forward. So if you've ever felt misunderstood, know this. You are not broken. You are simply seeing the world with eyes wide open. And that is both the burden and the power of the deep thinker. If this spoke to you, share your thoughts. Have you ever been pushed away for speaking your mind? Let's start the conversation, because the world needs deep thinkers now more than ever.